Game Time Decisions has begun. I'm Gabriel Morency on the SportsGrid television network. Let's do this thing. Kevin Walsh will return and join us on Monday, but we've got a stacked program for the next hour on the grid. Craig Mish going to step up, and then we'll talk some baseball with Craig. Cam Stewart in the house, as we're less than 24 hours away from puck drop in the National Hockey League playoffs. We'll get Cam's Stanley Cup playoff predictions. Tony Finn will step up and in with his Major League Baseball plays of the day, as we've got some interesting baseball matchups on the board. And, of course, we got two NBA games tonight. NBA playoffs will officially start tomorrow afternoon, but you got to get there first if you're the Charlotte Hornets and you're the Orlando Magic, the Golden State Warriors, and the Phoenix Suns. I tell you what, that Golden State Phoenix game, interesting play-in game a little bit later on this evening. But of course, Orlando and Charlotte are up first. We'll get into that game, but we got a baseball game going off the board in a couple of minutes. Yesterday, we talked about the Baltimore and Cleveland game, and it was a 6:10 early start. So I said, yeah, you know what? I want to get an early pick in on this one. And we took the Cleveland Guardians, and we took Parker Mesnick. And we talked about how nobody really talks about this dude, yet he's been absolutely dominant, right? Like, I know it's shocking to believe that there are actually good pitchers and good young pitchers in baseball that aren't named Paul Skeens. I know a lot of people in the media believe that Paul Skeens, the greatest pitcher that's ever played the game before, and they know it's bar none. Paul Skeens is the best. Yeah, he's good. All right, he's really good. But there's a lot of other good young pitchers in the game. And I tell you what, this dude's been unbelievable. It's been 11 starts now. He's only lost once, man. Yeah, it's starting to get real right now. Like, you know, you take the hill. And what I like about him was the fact that he came up last year, so late last year. So oftentimes you'll see a kid come up and, you know, prospect come up in September or whatnot, August, September. And they'll look good, and you'll get high expectations for a pitcher. I'm speaking about a pitcher. I know all players, but I'm talking about pitchers now. You know, you get excited about a pitcher, and then the next season, it was like, no, he's not actually some phenom or anything like that, right? It was just sort of a, you know, run late in the year. The rosters are depleted, and this and that. And also, pro hitters are good at figuring out pro pitchers pretty quickly, right? I'm always a big fan, guys, of, like, you know, a lot of people, like, want to fade like, oh, they're calling up the AHL goalie. They're out of goalies, right, in hockey. No, this dude wants to make a name for himself, right? And when the same thing in pitching, you know, with baseball and pitching, I love that angle. Yeah, man, they called this kid up from Double-A, man. He got the call yesterday, and he's starting the game tonight. The kid doesn't have time to think or get nervous. A lot of these, yeah, to be honest with you, younger people and these athletes, they don't get nervous. Like, they don't. It's not the same, like, type of thing. They're all confident. They're all, you know. So they don't have time to think about it. And also, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, yeah, he's some kid. He's 21. He's 22. He's in Double-A. And he just jumped to the bigs, and he's pitching against us tonight. And you're a bunch of pro hitters. You never seen a kid before. Right? You've never seen his stuff, and they could tell you this is his stuff, but you've never seen it before. So what's impressive about Mesnick is teams have had like an off season to say, hey, yeah, we saw him last year. Well, they're seeing him again this year, and they still can't hit him. Nearly had a no-hitter. All right? So one guy that won't nearly have a no-hitter tonight, at least I don't believe, is Chris Bassett. So a veteran pitcher now, and Chris Bassett, Baltimore Orioles starter, tonight. He's given up 11 runs, guys, in his 3 starts. All right? He's been rocked. He gave up 6. He gave up 4. Now, to his defense, he did pitch well in his last start. He only went like 4 1/3, but he did pitch well. He only gave up a run. It was against San Francisco, who I think I would probably pitch a 4-hitter against right now. Right? Like, they're not hitting this team. So you got Chris Bassett on the hill here tonight. Dude, so this is his 4th start of the season, guys. He's got 5 strikeouts. He got 5 strikeouts. Like, Ohtani had 5 strikeouts in 2 innings the other night. Chris Bassett has 5 strikeouts on the season. All right? Like, he's not striking anybody out. He can't get the ball past anybody. And Cleveland don't strike out. Cleveland only strike out 7.65 times per game. Like, this is one of the best strikeout ratios in baseball. That's what makes the Guardians, right? They don't have stars, but they got smart hitters and stuff. They work the count. They don't strike out. And now you got a dude, it's 3.5 tonight. So, all right, if Chris Bassitt gets the 4 strikeouts tonight, it'll be the first time that he has this year. And he's not a strikeout pitcher to begin with. So, like, even if he pitches well, right? So, as I stated, so he went 4 2/3 against San Francisco. He gave up 2 runs, gave up 7 hits. He only struck out 2. So he went 4 2/3. He only struck out 2. He went 4 1/3. He's never gotten into the 5th inning yet this year either, guys. Right? He was injured, don't forget, too. So it's not like he's in for the long haul. He hasn't gotten into the 5th inning yet. He went 4 1/3 in his opener, and he got rocked. He gave up 4 runs. He did strike out 3, but he gave up 4 runs in the 4 1/3. He only lasted 2 innings against Pittsburgh. He didn't strike out anybody. And his last start, he went 4 2/3, and he struck out 2. All right, so now he's going to strike out 4 tonight? Dude, you can get plus 132 out there at some spots. There's literally, I saw plus 132s for this, and I was like, what am I missing? Sometimes, people love to bet the overs when it comes to the strikeout props, but I think you've got to focus in at times on the unders as well. So our first official play of the day today on the program will be Chris Bassitt, the Bassitt Hound, under 3.5 strikeouts. I don't think he gets the 4 strikeouts tonight. In fact, and listen, BB is unpredictable. Like, he's like Bieber. BB's unpredictable in the sense that, he's been all over the place. Like, he got rocked. He gave up like 8 runs. He got killed in one of his starts. He looked good in another one. Like, he hasn't really settled in yet. Yeah, I don't really want to get in front of Cleveland tonight. I think Cleveland get it done again. Baltimore have lost 3 straight right now. Baseball is a sort of, you ride the streaks, so to speak. I haven't pulled the trigger with Cleveland, but I'm sort of pulling the trigger with Cleveland in the sense that I'm betting against Chris Bassitt. So I want Cleveland to get the Bassitt and get him out of the baseball game and or whatever hit him and not strike out. So Chris Bassitt under 3.5 strikeouts. Speaking of unders, and we'll get more baseball picks in a couple of minutes with Tony Finn. We'll get into the Atlanta Braves hot start. But speaking of unders, Colin Knippel, people talking about him about the rookie of the year and stuff like that, but his prop tonight is 16.5 in a basketball game that is an absolutely positively must win. But he didn't even play in the final minutes of the last game. He got benched. Like, literally, they sat him down. Charlotte are actually that good. Like, people talk about him, and kid's like, he had a great year, and he hit 1 million threes and stuff. But let's put it in context, okay? When the game got real, he wasn't on the floor, right? And it showed a lot of, shows a lot of gumption by the coach. It's like, hey, you know what? I got the potential rookie of the year here, but the kid hasn't hit a 3 in like 3 weeks. It's been a couple of weeks. He's been ice cold from 3. And he's a defensive liability. I got to sit him down. And they did, and they won the game. So, listen, there's just a lot of talk about him right now and the team. Ball is saying, hey, listen, I told him just keep shooting, right? They're going to start falling for you. Maybe they will. Orlando are a pretty scrappy defensive team as well. I didn't pull the trigger on the over this game because Orlando don't want to get into a track meet. I don't play a lot of under player props, but I don't think Knippel's going to get to 17 tonight. We'll get into this and more. Let's roll.
There are guys are great. We don't know that about Cal Raleigh. It is possible that Cal Raleigh isn't one of the 5 best catchers in baseball by the end of this season. And that's the difference. It's not possible that Aaron Judge isn't one of the 5 best outfielders in baseball. That's not on the board. It's on the board for Cal Raleigh.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
The fact that we are seeing now multiple states propose, not just prop bet bans, but getting rid of online sports betting altogether really shows kind of the pushback that the industry is facing right now, and kind of the crisis it has to make sure in the public spotlight that it's being viewed accurately, and that it's working with lawmakers on, common sense proposals.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We may be talking about this as one of the best divisions in baseball. It's not generally something we do, but if the Pirates just hold court and the Reds just hold court and the Cubs are in this thing, the Brewers are going to be there in the end too. I mean, that's 4 of the 5 teams. I do think the Cardinals are going to push back at some point. They'll fall back a little bit, but I got 4 teams with a possibility of making the postseason here, Donnie.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
There is one cardinal rule in sports media. You do not mess with the game or the ability for people to watch the game. These streaming giants better figure out how to deliver a live sporting event without any hitches, because broadcast television understood this for decades, and they know, Donnie, hey, there is nothing more important.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Game time decisions continues. I am Gabriel Morency. So as I promised, we got a stacked show today. I gave you a pick to start off. We're going with the Bassett Hound, Chris Bassett, under 3.5 strikeouts. Baltimore and Cleveland just getting started right now. It's snowing in Denver. The Dodgers are in Denver tonight, and it's snowing. They say they're playing. Like the Rockies are saying, no, the game is on as scheduled. And I don't know, it's kind of stopped snowing, but like it looks like a Bronco game. Like the stands are all, it's like not just like snowing, like it's snow. Like the field is all white, like the stadium's white, like it looks like football weather. Rockies claim they're playing tonight, but let's get right down to it right now. We got Tony Finn in the house, and listen, Tony bets, he's betting on the NBA, and he handicaps the NFL, obviously, and everything, but Tony loves baseball. And I know you always love to cap baseball, Tony, so let's jump right in right now with the Braves and the Phillies. This Phillies team has been struggling offensively. They struggle against left-handed pitching as well. What's your take tonight with the Braves and Phillies game?
Well, the Phillies are what you just stated is accurate, and they'll platoon tonight. They're going to platoon with Alec Baum, A. Garcia, Sosa, Real Muto. Those are the guys they would platoon against left-handed pitching, and as we know, Baum's having a miserable year, and their dependence on the long ball really is something that Martin Perez can handle. I really like the Braves here, and basically a pick'em game -110. Again, like you said, with the wind blowing left or right, it's going to knock down most of the long balls. Atlanta's playing well. Give me Atlanta -110.
I tell you what, at that number, and these will be the numbers throughout the weekend, basically.
Yeah,
I believe the Braves will take 2 or 3, Tony, at least, right?
I agree.
I think the Braves will win the series, so you step up tonight, and, you can take, step back and say, I'm done for the weekend. But ultimately, you sort of look at it, all right, they're pick'ems. I think the Braves will win the series. So I don't have a problem with, I don't want to get in front of the Braves right now, and I don't want to bet on the Phillies right now. The man that you spoke to behind the scenes, the producer of the show today, Sam Yarnell, big Washington Nationals fan, Tony. I got to tell you, it's early in the season. Yeah, this is a big weekend for the Giants. Like if I'm the manager there and the organization there, you're 7-12. It's not the end of the world, but there's a big difference between 7-12 and 7-15. Like things can start to snowball and get ugly. You're in Washington. Washington can hit the baseball this year, Tony, but you got your best pitcher on the hill here tonight in Logan Webb. What's your take? Giants, Nats.
Man, look, Webb's not the pitcher he was last 3 years. I think you've seen that. I think you'll see it continue through that. If you remember last week, we spoke a little bit about the Giants, how I was down on the Giants and Tony V and that roster per se. And the truth is, had they not won yesterday, had they lost yesterday, what did they do this last week? I think they lost everything but one game. At least they pulled out the game yesterday, 3-0, I think was the final score. But Zach Littell can handle this lineup. 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing in a stadium that's already pitcher friendly. Most would say I can't back Zach Littell. Give me Littell to pitch a good game. Webb to do enough against this Nationals.
So you're going
under 8 runs to get a -115, basically a pick.
All right, so tragedy strikes the Angels again, and man, over the years, the Angels guys have had a lot of people pass away. Like,
yep.
I mean, they just have, like, in season, off season, the suicides, like, just, they've just been an organization that's been struck by tragedy a lot for whatever reason or another, and sad news. And man, you can see how popular he is, man. Like, pretty much, and I don't know how many of their teammates have social media, but there's a lot of former big league players that are hit hard by Garrett Anderson passing away.
Yep.
Like, a lot of Angel players are like, I'm going to miss you, brother. Like, pictures of the World Series run, and like 53 years old only, and suddenly too, right? Like, beloved. And now they got to play a game tonight, this organization. I don't want to turn it into a Disney movie, but Angels at home tonight against San Diego. What's your take on this one? What are you doing here?
Well, yeah, I mean, Anderson spent a quarter of his life with this Angels. I mean, 13 years, something like that, was a lot of years.
Yeah, it's a big game for them tonight. Let's call it out for what
absolutely.
It is. Like, this is a game you want to win this game tonight.
I've been high on Soriano for seemed like the last 2 or 3 years, and this kid, I think I think this is his breakout season. Been absolutely fantastic so far, and pitching against Matt Walden. Padres playing well. 2 nights ago, made a ridiculous comeback. I'm on Seattle.
They're hitting well suddenly. Yeah, they're putting runs on the board. Yeah,
that's correct. And if they can get a lead, in the 7th inning, their bullpen's pretty good. They're going to lock that down as they did last night in a 4-2 game that ended up being 5-2. But that said, hitter friendly Anaheim, Angel Stadium right now favors an Angels team that's just crushing the baseball. And I not only like the Angels in this game, -135, 140, depending on your shop. I like the first 5 innings. The Angels over a team total 2.5. I got plus money at 105. I don't know that you're going to still see that right now, but I think Soriano defeats Waldron. I think he's better than him the first 6-7 innings, and the Angels pull this out at a fair price, I think.
All right, we've only got about a minute or so here, Tony.
Sure.
The Athletics, dangerous betting it under in Sacramento.
Yep.
The White Sox at Athletics tonight, but you've got the courage to do it. You're going to step up and pull the trigger on the under with White Sox in Sacramento?
Yeah, I think it's manageable. I think, as it gets warmer, that Sacramento dimensions, that stadium will be bandbox. But the pitching matchup's right. The lineups seem to be good in order to play under 8 here in this game. That's where I'm at.
All right, Tony, before we get you out of here, I know that and you told people in a great number that the NBA play-in, the second game, teams at home have been great in this second game setting. With that being stated, I like both road teams tonight. So are you going to follow the trends? We got 30 seconds. Who are you on tonight? Orlando? Are you on Orlando or Charlotte? Golden State, Phoenix? Who you got?
Charlotte's a mismatch. This is a bad matchup for Orlando. I like Charlotte. And step in front of Steve Kerr if you want on the road tonight, but it's a mistake. I like the same as you. I like both road teams here.
Yeah, we're in agreement. Great stuff, Tony. So we only have
Thanks,
time
buddy.
for one segment. Craig Mish is going to be joining us next. More baseball talk coming up, and then we got Cam Stewart joining us with some hockey talk. Let's roll.
Not all these kids, but the majority of these kids in the top 10 have had things handed to them since they're in 3rd grade because they're special athletically. And the fact that they get humbled a little bit, I'm here for the humbling. I've been humbled. I like when other people get humbled.
But you were humbled later.
Yeah.
You weren't humbled at 22 in front of the world.
No.
You were a grown-ass man.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
The process is closed. Let's call it out for what it is, right? And is it their fault? You could argue, they've been just besieged and Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like 2, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
There is one cardinal rule in sports media. You do not mess with the game or the ability for people to watch the game. These streaming giants better figure out how to deliver a live sporting event without any hitches, because broadcast television understood this for decades, and they know, Donnie, hey, there is nothing more important.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Game Time Decisions continues. I am Gabriel Morency on the SportsGrid Television Network. Let's talk some baseball with Craig Mish right now in Miami, Florida. Unfortunately, we've got some sad news to discuss first here as Garrett Anderson passes away. Craig, just 53 years old. Almost speechless. Just one of these sudden tragic passings of an awesome baseball player and someone who was very, very beloved by the Angels fans and organization.
Yeah, it hits me. I'll be 53 tomorrow. My gosh, this is way too young to see somebody pass away. And look, I definitely interviewed Garrett Anderson over the course of my career. I mean, I can't remember how extensive or what, but I know I had a microphone in his face over the course of his career, whether it was with the Angels, I believe Gabe at the Dodgers. I think he did finish off with. I think he did play with them at the end. But very quiet guy, not outspoken, just did things with his bat, World Series champion. And then you're right, it is sort of stunning to see this happen. It was not something that I figured we'd be talking about on our show today.
It hit me hard when Davey Lopes passed away, being, a Dodger fan as a kid. And it makes you reflect and realize, when your idols and people that you sort of watched growing up start to pass away, it's depressing. But at the same point in time, it's expected, Craig, right? When you see something like this, it really is just a reminder that, tomorrow is promised to nobody, guys. It really isn't. We've got to enjoy. We got to enjoy every minute that we have, right? Nobody plans on having a heart attack tonight. You know what I mean? Nobody plans on, I'm going to get in a car accident today, right? We don't plan for these things. These things happen, right? So I think the moral of the story is, condolences to his family. Let's remember what a great ball player he was, but also let's remember that life is precious and fleeting. So let's enjoy the time that we have here right now. So, Craig, other news in baseball, the San Diego sale has finally happened. There was a lot of speculation about this over the past couple of years. It's finally done. $3.9 billion. What's your take?
Well, they went for more than the Mets, Gabe. So I think all owners around Major League Baseball are doing the conga line right now.
A small market city, right, Craig? Yeah, with $4 billion.
Yeah, I mean, a little different, a little apples and oranges, Gabe, because the Padres do have the monopoly in that city, which is very rare because the Chargers are gone. There's no other really big sporting event going on. They get all the advertising money, they get all the TV money. There's really nothing to compare it to. But really, it's irrelevant. I mean, you're right, Gabe. $3.9 billion. just tells you what all of the other franchises are worth right now. You know, Peter Seidler, who passed away sadly, speaking unfortunately of death a few years ago, went all in a few years ago, Peter, you know, like signing a lot of big contracts, Bogarts, Machado. And you just kind of have to wonder back then, was he just, you know, did he sort of know something was going to happen? Because I think once he turned the team over, Gabe, to his kids, it seemed like they were like, whoa, let's take a big step back here. Like this payroll that we're carrying and everything else, do we really want to do it? Cooler heads obviously prevailed within the but it obviously they just couldn't come to any sort of agreement on keeping the team, and so they end up selling it for $3.9 billion.
Great point that you raised as far as them owning the market. And, you know, it really is a turnkey operation there right now, though, isn't it? With the state, you know, great stadium, hungry fan base, and really not much competition. Like, I'm not going to say any competition, but not you know, San Diego State aren't competition to them. It's a compliment. It's another team in the city. All right. Yeah, exactly. And the soccer team does do very well, right? It does do very well. But
should.
Your point is taken. New stadium there, too, with Snapdragon, right? Your point taken. All right, Craig. Oh, you know, time flies by here. I feel pretty smart because last night I gave a pick on the show, and I said, guys, nobody talks about this Parker Messick kid, but he's pretty good.
Wow.
He's pretty good. Nearly threw a no-hitter last night. And Wroblewski did this earlier in the week, Craig. I'm always fascinated by the no-hitters, how it's never the star type of guys. But what's your take on Parker Messick? Is he a phenom, or is this just some sort of anomaly?
I mean, my take is, Gabe, it's the same take every year. The Cleveland and Milwaukee, how do they do it? They just keep finding these pitchers every year to go 8 innings and almost throw no-hitters. So the Guardians organization is just fantastic, Gabe, in the playoffs.
They really are.
In the playoffs every year and finding pitchers we've never heard of before the season to succeed. So maybe this is the start of something. We'll see. But, Gabe, they got to be careful with this kid next time out. Definitely got to be careful. Over 100 pitches.
We got 20 seconds, Craig. What's the series what's the storyline? What are you looking at this weekend?
I mean, DeGrom, Gilbert tonight, right? Best pitching matchup on the board. Should be a fun series, Texas, Seattle.
Craig Mish. Thanks, Craig. We'll catch up next week. Happy birthday as well.
Not all these kids, but the majority of these kids in the top 10 have had things handed to them since they're in 3rd grade because they're special athletically. And the fact that they get humbled a little bit, I'm here for the humbling. I've been humbled. I like when other people get humbled.
But you were humbled later. Yeah. You weren't humbled at 22 in front of the world.
No.
You were a grown-ass man.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Process is closed. Let's call it out for this, right? And is it their fault? You could, you know, they've been just besieged at Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like 2, like, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
There is one cardinal rule in sports media. You do not mess with the game or the ability for people to watch the game. These streaming giants better figure out how to deliver a live sporting event without any hitches, because broadcast television understood this for decades, and they know, Donnie, hey, there is nothing more important.
The Early Line. Only on...
All right, let's roll. Game Time Decisions continues. I am Gabriel Morency. Thanks to Craig Mish for joining us on the program. So big night of action coming up. Baseball's already rolling. We've got a weather report from Denver. The snow has stopped. So we are playing baseball tonight. It's going to be cold. It looks like football weather in Denver, Colorado this evening, and the Los Angeles Dodgers, of all teams, are there this weekend. So we got snow there. We got the NBA play-in games, and we got a UFL football game on Fox tonight. Another slick 2-0 in the UFL on the program last night for those of you keeping track. But let's see what Cam Stewart is playing this evening. Cam, good to see you. Like I said, we got a busy night tonight. We'll get into the NHL playoffs that start tomorrow. But what are you betting on tonight? Start off with baseball. Are you playing any baseball tonight?
Yeah, I took the Dodgers, Gabe. I know you talk about the snowstorm there, but I think they're going to get it done against Colorado. You talk about the snow conditions. I really don't care. I love the pitching matchup. And also, the Toronto Blue Jays have been fade material. But, you know, tonight they're going down to battle the Snakes in Arizona. I think it's a good spot for them to get out of town. They have felt a lot of pressure from the local media, and I think this is a really, really good spot for the Jays as a small pooch against the Diamondbacks to get it done. Also going to parlay Los Angeles and Toronto. The meeting of last year's World Series. That's what I like on the diamond, Gabe. And basketball tonight, you talked about the play-in games, and the Charlotte Hornets have been really, really good to us. I really don't want to lay that 3 on the road, but I am going to. I think they win this game. I think they're the better team than Orlando, and I think they get it done. The late game, I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I am on Charlotte to get it done tonight on the court.
I agree with the Charlotte Hornet pick this evening, but I can't take the Toronto Blue Jays. Right now, this is a team that's lost 4 of their last 5 games. They've lost 10 of their last 13 games overall. And they've lost 5 straight series as well. They haven't won a series. 5 straight series. The Blue Jays are just scuffling along right now. And, you know, losing Kirkham was big for them. Like, that hurt. Mm-hmm. Big catalyst, you know, consistent hitter. And then you take Springer out of the lineup, right? Like, if you look at the Blue Jays, guys, and if you're wondering from an outside perspective, like, oh, what's going on with the Blue Jays? They don't have George Springer. They don't have Alejandro Kirk. They don't have Jose Barrios. They don't have Shane Bieber. They don't have Cody Potts, and they don't have Treya Savage. Yeah, and they're not hitting. And the guys that are there aren't hitting. Other than that, everything's great with this team. And you got Eric Lauer on the hill here tonight. And speaking of which, Cam, like Michael Soroka's pitching tonight. And Soroka's Canadian, guys. Right? So Soroka's Canadian. He pitched very well in the WBC for Canada, which, you know, no one really knew. Like, he was fighting for a spot. Like, he was fighting for, like, a spot in the rotation type of deal. Coming off of surgeries and injuries and stuff. You know, right, what do you still have? But he's only 28 years old. I kind of felt like Soroka was older in my head or something. But he's only 28. And I'll tell you, Cam, I caught on earlier during spring training. I watched one of the Canada play. It was Canada versus the Blue Jays, I think. Right, that's what it was. It was Canada versus the Blue Jays in the WBC, and Soroka pitched, and he was mowing Blue Jays down. And I was like, well, it was pretty good. He looked pretty good. And then in the WBC for Canada, he looked really good twice. And he basically, like, the D-backs took note, and we're like, yeah, he's starting. Like, this, he's in his zone, man. Yeah, you got a spot in the rotation. And he hasn't disappointed, guys. It's continued. So, like, a lot of players, Cam, a lot of guys from the WBC have struggled. Not him. Like, he looked good in the WBC, and it's continued in. Michael Soroka's won all 3 of his starts this year. He's got great. 2 strikeout games. 10 strikeout games. Where 2 of his 3 starts, he struck out 10 or more. The only pitcher to do that in Arizona Diamondback history, to strike out 10 or more hitters in 2 of his first 3 starts, Randy Johnson. So all that being stated, I'm on the D-backs tonight, Cam. I'm getting in front of the Jays.
Honestly, like, in a court of law, you're sitting there going, and like, who am I, Lionel Hudson? You're like the high-powered attorney. I'm just saying it's one of those situations where I like Lauer, but you're right. Maybe an under is something that we can consider.
Lauer's been absolutely lit up too. Lauer's got an ERA of 8.52 or whatever.
He has. I admit, in a small sample size, but I'm going to say Lauer, he's one of those guys who's a softball tosser, and Arizona has a lot of free swingers. But I will say this about Soroka. You saw him, and Gabe brings up a good point. When he was with the Atlanta Braves, he was an amazing pitcher, like one of the best. Like he was really, really good for a while, and then injuries really beat him down. But you said it. It's like a second act in his career. He was absolutely fantastic for Team Canada, and he's really, really impressing me. Great find by the Arizona Diamondbacks. I just think, tonight baseball is one of those weird sports, and, it's a short price. Is it there for a reason? I'm taking the Toronto Blue Jays. It's a little bit of a leap of faith with this team. I know they haven't been playing well, but I think it's actually going to be a pitcher's duel tonight, too. I don't think it's going to be an explosion of runs what we see with these two guys. I think both pitchers can do fine.
Now, you say you like the LA Dodgers, but in what sense? Like on the run line, or
yes,
the Dodgers are minus
320
favorites, right? They're
run line.
They're enormous favorites, and even on the run line, minus 185. Pretty pricey tonight for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
It is.
I think they get it done. They got Glass now on the hill, but one thing is, and I know it's cliche to say this, but the Dodgers don't like cold weather. They actually don't. Like, it's not like, oh, yeah, it's not a big deal. They haven't played well in cold weather, Cam. Like, the playoffs are one thing and stuff, and they got lucky last year. It was in a dome in Toronto. And the year before in New York, it was unseasonably warm, so, like, it really wasn't cold for them. But I'm telling you, I know the Dodgers inside out. Like, last year, they played in, like, miserable weather in Chicago against the Cubs. And I think we got swept, or we definitely lost, like, 2 or 3. I think it was Washington, wasn't nice. Like, I'm telling you, like, the Dodgers guy, like, they live in California. Like, you know what I mean? And it's baseball. It's not football where it's like, whatever, who cares? It's, we like it. Like, no, like, they don't like it. They're not used to it. They don't like it. But it's not like Colorado players are used to it either. Like, no one really plays in this type of cold weather. So the snow has stopped. And thing, too, Cam, about my D-back pick, this is for everybody tuning in. There's no lock in baseball, right? I mean, you got to, never think that, there's no way that this team loses tonight in a regular season Major League Baseball game. The best team loses 65 times. So, like, do the math. You know what I'm saying? Like, the math is never on your side. That, this is like, so, you pick your spots. You hope that you're on the right angles, and you know what I mean? And you move on. And I brought this up earlier, Cam, and me and Craig Misher just talking about Garrett Anderson, unfortunately passed away last night, heart attack, 53 years old only. Angels legend, World Series champ. And like I said, they get back home tonight. It's going to be an emotional time. They're going to play the video stuff before the game. And if there's ever a game, like, you got to win. There's certain games you got to win, Cam. You know what I mean? Like, if you're the Angels players, like, in the dugout tonight, when you see this, you're like, dude, there used to be a standard here. Like, we don't live up to that standard, but the least we can effing do is win this game tonight. Like, yeah. And they had a decent road trip, too. They split with the Yankees. They're smoking the baseball offensively right now. Trout's hot. I'm going to take the Angels tonight, Cam, minus 130.
Have you seen an organization, Gabe, when you talk about sports that have had bad luck with, like, some of their players, accidents, deaths? Like, it's just unbelievable with this team. The LA Angels have just almost like snake bitten. And you're right. Actually, I like the way they're playing as well. They're a very good baseball team. They're really coming into their own. And you talk about it, the emotional angle against the Padres tonight, I would agree. I think the Angels are the play tonight. I just can't believe the franchise, what they've had to deal with, players, deaths with players, accidents, all sorts of things. They've been a really hard luck franchise.
No, they really have. There's been a lot of tragedy that surrounded them, like, kind of not since day one, but for a long time. Like, just like every decade, something weird happens, or every couple of years, something weird happens to them. So Tony Finn was with us earlier. I don't disagree with his Atlanta Brave pick. It's basically a pick 'em. Do I love it? No. And same thing with the Giants. The Giants, like, need to win this year. Otherwise, this manager, like, his head might roll.
There are know are great. We don't know that about Cal Raleigh. It is possible that Cal Raleigh isn't one of the 5 best catchers in baseball by the end of this season. And that's the difference. It's not possible that Aaron Judge isn't one of the 5 best outfielders in baseball. That's not on the board. It's on the board for Cal Raleigh.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
The fact that we are seeing now multiple states propose, not just prop bet bans, but getting rid of online sports betting altogether really shows kind of the pushback that the industry is facing right now, and kind of the crisis it has to make sure in the public spotlight that it's being viewed accurately, and that it's working with lawmakers on, common sense proposals.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We may be talking about this as one of the best divisions in baseball. It's not generally something we do, but if the Pirates just hold court and the Reds just hold court and the Cubs are in this thing, the Brewers are going to be there in the end too. I mean, that's 4 of the 5 teams. I do think the Cardinals are going to push back at some point. They'll fall back a little bit, but I got 4 teams with a possibility of making the postseason here, Donnie.
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
There is one cardinal rule in sports media. You do not mess with the game or the ability for people to watch the game. These streaming giants better figure out how to deliver a live sporting event without any hitches, because broadcast television understood this for decades, and they know, Donnie, hey, there is nothing more important.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, let's get into some hockey. As the Stanley Cup playoffs set to begin tomorrow. Only 3 games tomorrow, and then we got 4 on Sunday. But whatever, we could be here all night criticizing the NHL for their scheduling decisions. And no offense to Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, but like most leagues put their best teams on in prime time, but not the NHL. It's like, yeah, you know what? Saturday night, prime time, let's put Philadelphia and Pittsburgh on. It's like, why wouldn't you put Minnesota and Dallas on? That's the better game. That's the better series. They're the better teams. They skouldn't be playing each other. It's ridiculous they're playing each other this early. And then Sunday, it's just a weirdo, sked, but whatever. You got the Kings and the Avalanche at 3 p.m. Eastern. You have the Canadians and the Lightning following at a weird time, 5:45. Bury the Canadian team. Buffalo Sabres, 7:30, and then Utah and Vegas at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. So, yeah, weird schedule, but nevertheless. So, what are your picks for tomorrow, Cam? Game 1s, Ottawa Senators, Carolina Hurricanes. Canes are -150 favorites. Who do you like?
It's really interesting. The books have put up these numbers, and if you saw Carolina hosting Ottawa in the regular season, it'd probably be about $1.80. I like Carolina here. I know Ottawa's a nice story, but Carolina's a better hockey team than Ottawa. I think it's imperative that the Carolina Hurricanes go in and win Game 1 on home ice after their playoff disappointments. But the line tells you, Gabe, beware. Beware of the underdog in a lot of these games. I will be taking Carolina. Game number 2, I'm going to take my shot with Minnesota. I think Minnesota can actually beat the Dallas Stars in this series. I think they have the depth. They have underrated players in their team. Kiprusoff, he's got to go wild. I know Dallas has been good, but they also have had playoff disappointments in the past. The Minnesota Wild's defense is good. They have good team speed. They can get some goaltending. I think they're dangerous, and the line in the series tells you they're only +105. I think they're very live, and that's what I'm taking in those games, and I'm not going to take Minnesota in the series. Gabe, I'm also looking at the line, some of these dogs, in the series, and it sucks that Buffalo, even the next night, they have to play a team like Boston, who's battle-tested laying minus 180 for the Buffalo Sabres. I've been riding them the whole year, but that is an incredibly high price for a team that has little playoff experience. They've been fantastic this year, but that's nuts. As for the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins, a late game on Saturday night, I'm looking at the Flyers. I haven't pulled the trigger right now, but in the Battle of Pennsylvania, let's give the Flyers credit. They beat some people up getting into the playoffs. They played playoff hockey really deep down the stretch, and they've been looking very good, suddenly getting goaltending, suddenly getting timely scoring. Pittsburgh, a surprisingly good year despite the injuries, but I think the Flyers could be live.
You know what? The Flyers, Cam, one of the best teams post-Olympic break. Talkin did a great job. I've been betting on them a lot over the last couple of weeks, actually. I've been riding the wave with them. But I think Pittsburgh are just better than people realize. They're better than I realized. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that they were basically the Pittsburgh Penguins guys have scored the third most goals in the National Hockey League this year. Like, third most goals. Only Colorado and Carolina have scored more than the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're an offensive juggernaut, this team, and they've had a ton of injuries through the year. Kyle Dubas done a great job, like, just, you know, with the analytics and the players that he brought in, no-name players that don't make any money, and people thought they were going to be terrible. For me, Cam, just quickly in the series, guys, the Philadelphia Flyers, great story, great team. They kind of, you know, they outwork you every night. You can't really win by outworking you in the playoffs. They're going to need to find that next level. They have zero playoff experience, and they literally have the worst power play in the NHL. Like, their power play is anemic. It's amazing they're as good as they are and how bad their power play is. So they take any penalties, they're in trouble. And Pittsburgh take any penalties, they don't really have to worry about it. Philadelphia can't score on the power play. So I think special teams will be the difference, guys, in that series. I like the Penguins. I don't think it'll be easy, but I like the Penguins to win the series. Going into Sunday, Cam, I like where you're going. If you look at all these teams, guys, they're all playoff, like, I'm talking about the home teams. They're all playoff regulars. Like, Carolina is a playoff regular. Dallas is a playoff regular. Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby, whatever's won multiple cups, Malkin, etc. Like, it's not like they're nervous and or the city is super, like, it's different. Like, Colorado, same thing. Tampa Bay Lightning, same thing. Vegas Golden Knights, same thing. The Buffalo Sabres, Cam, haven't made the playoffs in 14 years. The city of Buffalo is going crazy right now. The players on the Sabres have been in Buffalo all week. They're leading into this. They're hearing how great they are. They could get caught up. If there's one road team, like, I like the Canadians actually in game 1 too. But if there's a road team, Cam, I think it could backfire. I could see the Sabres losing game 1 and then winning game 2. Getting too caught up. We see this, guys, in the hockey playoffs. Sounds crazy, but you're better off on the road often. Hockey players get fired up by the crowd. They really do. And they start to get fancy. They do, like, teams play better on the road often in the playoffs in hockey. I could see the Sabres, Cam, falling into this, oh, my God, this is crazy. The crowd is so loud during the national anthem trap and coming out flat, actually.
It's an excellent point. And the thing is, the Boston Bruins, they're battle-tested. They have a lot of guys that have been there before. They have great goaltending as well. Then what do you need in the playoff? I'll take, but, you know, it's just a horrible matchup for Buffalo. I think they can win, Gabe, but I'm with you. And what the Sabres needed was a road game because they played some really good hockey on the road. They play more defensive. They can play back. What is the Sabres' strength against Boston? Team speed. They're one of the fastest teams in the league. When you watch the Sabres play live, they're very, very fast. Boston's a little more physical. We'll see what happens. The Sabres can't get caught up. Gabe's right. This city, Gabe, I'm watching Buffalo News. They're talking every report. Sabres, Sabres, Sabres. I haven't been there in so long, but it could be nerve-wracking. I'd rather them start on the road. As for your other point, I agree. I think the Montreal Canadiens are live. Actually, I think they're live in the series against Tampa Bay. They're plus 210 on my book. I'm going to tell you something. Montreal can hang with these guys. I know you do these spread picks like plus 2.5 in a series. You can put some parlays together. The Montreal Canadiens play Tampa Bay tough. Tampa Bay, sure, they're tough, but I'll tell you, Montreal's fast, Gabe. I think they have a big chance to win game 1, and I actually think they're live at plus 210 to upset the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I don't know if you've got a great book that I don't know about, or you got to hit refresh because, man, I see plus 160. Let me see. Yeah, plus 160 for the Canadians. FanDuel right now, plus 210. Geez. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish
I
I
hit
could. I
refresh
wish I
in
had
a while,
FanDuel. I'm like, put it this way: Canadians take 1 and 2 Cam in Tampa at that price, right? You got to take them. All right, fun show today, man. I tell you what, this hour's just absolutely flown by. It'd be remiss of me not to get to the Cruise picks, and it kind of hit me. I'm like, damn, I wouldn't have had a 640, any 640 picks. I believe Kofsky had a 610 pick. Yeah, what we got to open up the show with this. There's in-game too, guys, right? You can jump in on the in-game player props as well. Austin Reed, anytime touchdown, plus 230. Yarnell says that the Dallas Renegades quarterback is going to scramble for a touchdown tonight. Bold. And AJ, Tampa Bay Rays money line, plus 110. You know I've got some UFL picks for you guys this evening, but let's start off in the association, right? We're coming up. That's the big games of the night here tonight. This Charlotte Hornet team, they've been balling for the last couple of months right now. We talk about Orlando just sort of missing some sort of, I don't know, like that, I don't know, not heart, grit, like just that next level, right? And we saw it. They kind of got punched in the mouth and rolled over against the Philadelphia 76ers. They don't really have a home court advantage. A lot of people think that the coach is about to get fired and there's drama in the room and all that type of stuff. It's rare to see a team favored like this on the road, but the way Charlotte has been balling him, Charlotte has been good on the road as well. So give me the Charlotte Hornets on the money line tonight in case it's close. Minus 153, 52, whatever. We talked about Con Knippel. Even though I'm on the Hornets, I don't think Knippel, put it this way, it's almost like, all right, fine. If Knippel goes over 16.5 points, they probably win the game. But I think they're going to win the game anyways. Guys, he hasn't gone over this number in 5 straight games. He hasn't gone over this number in 8 of his last 10 games. It's not just like it's like a, oh, yeah, he had a bad night or two, let's fade him. No. He's had a bad, 2-3 weeks. 3 weeks, basically. He's not hitting his threes anymore. That's all he does. Rookie of the year, my ass. Yeah, who do you want? You starting a franchise, Con Knippel or Cooper Flagg? Come on. Right? Yeah, so it's cute. He can hit some threes. All right. But he's not anymore. I mean, they sat his ass down when the game got real the other night. under 16.5 points for Con Knueppel. Golden State Warriors. Man, the Warriors are taking on a Phoenix Sun team. Very, very similar. I was talking about with Orlando. There's certain Phoenix are this team. They can't win. They won't win. Like, Golden State are going to win this game tonight. Like, Phoenix could have won the other night. They should have won. They had it, but anytime the game got real, it was a game of runs back and forth, but every time it sort of got real, Portland would just punch him in the mouth again. It's like, oh, Phoenix are coming back. Oh, no, Portland. Like, Devin Booker's a good player, but he's, you know what I mean? He's one guy, and Booker, all right, he's going to put up 25, 26. Dylan Brooks is hit or miss offensively. He's going to get into foul trouble. Jalen Green's going to hit a couple of threes, but you're counting on, Connor Gillespie? Really? You want Connor Gillespie or Steph Curry? All right? Like, you want Steve Kerr? And, the Warriors have their issues in the big picture, but Steph Curry's a killer. Like, he's not losing to a team like Phoenix. Phoenix, they're kind of same thing. They're kind of gutless. They're going to choke. Like, they're chokers. They're chokers. They're going to lose on their home floor tonight. So give me the Warriors. Give me Steph Curry over 3.5 made threes. We gave this to you the other night. It was 4.5, and it still went over. He had 7 of them. He probably does it again, but whatever. Over 3.5 is minus 170. You can play the over 4.5 at plus money if you want. All right, let's get into some UFL football. We've been killing it. Let's try to keep it rolling tonight. I'm going flying tonight. Flying high again, Ozzy Osbourne style with the Aviators. Say what? The Aviators. They haven't won. The Aviators have, battled. These two teams just played last week, all right? And Dallas were up. They were, crushing them. It was, 28-10 or whatever. And Columbus scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They backdoored, covered it. They scored the 2 touchdowns. It should be noted that their head coach got arrested for drunk driving hours before the game. So, and they actually covered the number. The game went over the number. There's been 5 or 6 straight UFL games over the number now. Every game went over last week. It went over again last night. The over train is opened up right now. The Columbus Aviators have the worst defense in the league. They're giving up 33 points a game. But their offense started to open up a little bit. And now you're dropping Dallas on the road in Columbus. We saw last night a bad team cover the number in Houston. Give me the Aviators plus 5.5 and the Renegades Aviators over 47. May the winners be yours.